I feel like shit.
Monday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
It's just one of
Friday,
those
happy days. The weekend comes, let's not go home.
It's just one of those days where you don't wanna wake up. Everything is everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you wanna justify ripping someone's head off. No human contact, and if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet is
Just knock it off, you scum fuckhead.
it's just one of those days. It's just one of
Monday,
those.
happy days.
It's just one of
Tuesday,
those.
happy days.
It's just one of those
Happy days.
days.
The weekend comes, let's not go home. Ready to extend.
It's just one of those days, feeling like a freight train. First one to complain, leaves with the blood stain. Damn right, I'm a maniac. You better you, cause I'm fucking up your program. And if you're stuck up, you just locked up. Next in line to get fucked up. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just,
I'm losing my cool.
it's all
Monday,
about,
happy days.
it's just one of
Tuesday,
those,
happy days.
it's just one of those
Happy days.
days.
The weekend comes, let's not go home. Ready to extend.
Feel like shit. My suggestion is distance. Right now I'm dangerous. Right now I'm dangerous.
Something's happening to the bonds.
My day keeps going this way and this way.
I'm gonna pop you one so you'll stop playing games.
Give me something great. Give me something great. I'm looking over like a chainsaw. A chainsaw. A motherfucking chainsaw.
What?
So come and get it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chief Moody, and welcome to episode 29 of the Mood of the Nation podcast. How is everyone doing this fine Thursday evening? I am feeling a lot more chipper today than the couple of episodes, but I'll get to that in just a short second why that is. Let me have a look and see who's in the chat. Quite a lot of familiar faces, as per usual. I also wanted to say thank you to Mark, to Laura, to the PA Telegram channels, and everyone else who shared the stream. Really do appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. Of course, if you're watching just now, really do appreciate that. So let's have a look and see who's here. Steve Cray, hello, sir. How you doing? I'm actually going to catch a stream, get the camera out. Fair enough. Gammon Sandwich, I have arrived. You may proceed. Well, we are proceeding right now, Gammon. The show has started. Thank you very much. Exiled Viking, how you doing, brother? Thank you for watching the show. Budgie Burger, as usual, thank you very much for watching. Kenny Hinney, evening to you too. Thank you for watching. English Rose, hello, miss. How you doing? Thank you very much for watching the show as per usual. Much appreciated. Streaky Bacon, how you doing? I like this Thursday show. The weekend is near. It's very near. I cannot wait for this weekend, especially on Saturday, and I'll tell you why in just a short second. What Tyler 1381, how you doing? Thank you for watching the show. Rory Herbert, again, thank you very much for watching. Thumbs up to you too. Thank you very much for watching the show. Kitchen Skillet, evening everyone. Evening to you too, Kitchen. Thank you very much for watching. Who else is here? The ginger actress from Jurassic Park is Richie Cunningham's daughter. I did not know that. Thank you very much for the information. I much appreciated. Amanda Lee, even to you too. Thank you very much for watching. Dragon Energy, hello. How you doing? Thank you for watching the show. Phil, hello, Phil. How you doing? Thank you for watching the show. Who else? Who else? Is that all up to date with that? Oh, there's Noel. Hello, Noel. How you doing? Thank you for watching the show. There's some more comments coming through with the chat. Chris Jones, hello, Chris. How you doing? Thank you for watching the show. And also we got our very own Woodlander. Hello, sir. Thank you very much for watching the show. Much appreciated, sir. Let me see. 30 people watching the stream. That's actually pretty decent. Really, really do appreciate that, guys. I need to start repeating words over and over again. I can imagine it gets pretty annoying at a certain point. Jojo Gizmo, I think you're the last person to see on the stream. Thank you very much for watching. Well, there's another person here. Mr. X. I like the name. I think that's a reference to Resident Evil 2, if I'm not mistaken. If it is, cool name. Thank you very much for watching the show. We also have Rob D, finally. Thank you very much again for watching the show. Before I get into the episode itself, I have a few quick announcements to make in regards to what's been happening with my life as of late. Also, just real 1 second here. Aethelwolf of Wessex, I hope I pronounced that right. Again, thank you very much for watching the show. Even chat and chief, just serving up my family dinner, so I won't be in the chat, but I'll be listening. No worries, you do what's more important, which is, of course, looking after your family. Even then, I still appreciate you coming on the show and watching. I really do appreciate that. But what is majorly important is looking after your family regarding to that. But much appreciated. Thank you very much. Let me see. Yes, exactly, Gamma Sandwich. Don't forget to like, good people. Please hit that like button, smash it if you will. And even also, please share the stream if you can on other platforms. That would be much appreciated. We went from 30 viewers to 35 viewers just now, which is really excellent. Thank you very much. Right, excellent. Let me get into some updates just now. So I'll start off with my illness. So I said on episode 28 when I had the good lads from PA Young Scots on as a couple of guests. Again, very good episode. Hopefully have them back on at some point. I did say in that episode I was feeling under the weather. I was not feeling too well. Well, at this point in time, it's been almost a full week. And honestly, I'm feeling a lot more better than I was last week, or this past Sunday, I should say, or even last week for that matter. I still get some small coughing fit here and there. I can still taste and smell, but of course there's that kind of like scent, like smell or taste, like kind of like the coldness, if you will. Kind of still there, but even then, it's all kind of slowly but surely going away. But I'm feeling a lot more better than as per usual. So, and hopefully, I will make it for Saturday's first ever 1 year anniversary event for PA Scotland, which is the PA Scotland Scottish Conference, which will be happening this coming Saturday. I actually cannot wait for that whatsoever. Of course, I definitely cannot wait for the main PA National Conference this coming October on the 30th, I think it is. I really cannot wait for that, but I'm still really buzzing for the Scottish Conference, which will be this coming Saturday. Cannot wait for that. But yeah, I'm feeling a lot better than I was. Hopefully, I'll be feeling a lot more better by Saturday, which I'm sure I will be anyway, but even still. Another piece of update is that I did say that on last week's episode that I was made redundant from my work after 3 months. Well, I have some pretty good news to tell everyone that I think I did receive an email from the employer of an induction letter through, I think it's like an electronic one through email. Basically, it's telling me that I basically got a new job. I think anyway. Not entirely too sure when exactly I'll be starting, but from the looks of things, I got myself a new job, so yay for me. It's like a very small job, like almost like an assistant type of job. It's like working in a factory, like kind of thing, like a factory work environment. Pretty fast paced, so I'm sure I've done that before, so I'm pretty sure I'll be okay with that. I'm not entirely too sure if it's going to affect future episodes, however, because I'm not too sure if it's going to be part-time or full-time. But even either or, it shifts like morning, afternoon, and also back shift. So I don't know what's going to be happening with that. But any updates regarding to that whatsoever, I'll keep you guys posted through Telegram and all the other social media platforms I'm on. Again, just to keep you guys updated what's going on with that. So other than that, I got myself a new job with that. So again, yay for me. Yay for me. What was the other thing? I think those were the two major updates to cover, and that's pretty much it. Hold on just 1 second. Felix Boru, how you doing? Thank you very much. Really appreciate you being here, sir. Thank you. Let me see here. Nice one, Chief Moody. Get a few quid saved for Xmas. Oh, God. I actually cannot believe we're actually almost 2 weeks away until we hit in Christmas. It's crazy to think that. But then again, I think there could be a case of maybe, from what I've been hearing from everyone from our side of the political fence, from the other side, the mainstream media and all of that, I think there's going to be some piece of lurking of an upcoming lockdown due to what's going to be happening. I don't know if it's going to be a definite or not, but honestly, don't be surprised if there's going to be like another major lockdown this coming November or December. If it happened the same way last year, you know it's going to happen again this year. But again, we'll just need to wait and see what happens really with that. Another thing I was going to mention, and this was something that I can't believe I keep forgetting to bring this up on the show, but it's something that both Kenny Smith and PA have been promoting a lot recently. Where is it? I'll just get this up here real quick. Yes, it's on the PA website. Right, let's see. Copy, and then I'll paste this here. 1 second. I'll load it up now, and then click on this screen just now. So, a little bit of a backstory to this. I've talked about this on the show before, but I've talked about there's a petition that was created by our fellow member of PA, especially PA Scotland, Kenny Smith, who made a petition on the 38 Degrees website, if I'm not mistaken. Might be completely wrong on that, but if I am, great. If I'm not right on that, please correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure it was the 38 Degrees website, like a petition website. But anyway, Kenny Smith decided to create a petition for the new Glasgow Bridge to be named after Chris Donald. I'm pretty sure it's still going to be named after some foreigner that died in Glasgow. But the whole point of the petition was that, hey, instead of the bridge being named after this foreigner, why don't we name it after Chris Donald? Because, hey, Chris Donald is a boy from Glasgow. He was murdered in the most brutal way possible. What other way can we honor his memory but to name a bridge named after him, mainly naming it the Chris Donald Bridge? So that petition was up, and it got a pretty decent amount of numbers, if I remember correctly. I think it was around about 4,000 plus signatures, compared to the other petition about the foreigner was about 200 or something like that. Again, don't quote me on that. I might be completely wrong in terms of the figures, but all I know is the original petition, it had vast amount of support for that petition. A lot of people really like the idea of the new Glasgow Bridge to be named after Chris Donald, and hence why 4,000 people, or 4,000 plus people, signed the petition, including myself. Then, of course, we found out it was taken down due to it promoting a cynical point of view by this press, or by these people, like the establishment and whatnot, basically making the point about we had to take down this petition because we deemed it as a very cynical point of way of trying to promote a far right ideology or whatnot, due to the fact that they saw information about Kenny Smith, being a former member of the BNP and all of that. That's why they pretty much took it down, which of course is still absolutely disgusting that they still did that. So hence why there's this new petition on the PA website, and the petition is called Name the Glasgow M8 Bridge After Chris Donald. And so far what I've seen here, let me see, sign our new petition, why is it important? We'll end up going over that as well. So far we have reached 1,505 signatures out of a goal of 2,000 signatures. Now I have a sneaking suspicion that everyone in the chat has already signed this petition already, which is fair enough. Even I've also signed this as well. I just kind of find it baffling for me that I've not shared this before, but here we go. We're sharing it on tonight's episode. So what I would advise, let me just quickly copy and paste the link and then paste it in the chat just now. And what I want you all to do is again, if you haven't done so already, please share this around. Share it on all other platforms like Facebook, Twitter, well, if you're still on Facebook, that is, Gab, Instagram, any other big any big name social media platform you can think of. Please share it far and wide. I think this is the potential of really getting this out there, and it needs to be addressed that this bridge, this new M8 bridge, needs to be called after Chris Donald in a way of honoring the boy's memory. So if you haven't done so already, which I'm sure you've all done so anyway, but please share this far and wide. I think it's very important, and it's a perfect way to honor Chris Donald. Let's see. Sorry, excuse me. So that is that in the meantime. Let me just kind of go back onto here for a second. Let me just have a quick look, read the chat, and then I'll move on to the next topic. Again, it's something that I should have covered in previous episodes, but didn't get the chance to. But of course, I'm definitely going to talk about this tonight. Let me see here. The pigs running this shambles of a country won't be locking me down. There we go. Well, that's to do with the potential lockdown if it might happen. Dovskin, hello, sir. How you doing? Well, if sir or madam, I'm not entirely too sure, but thank you very much for watching the show. If there is a new lockdown, I have a feeling it will be because of USA shittery. Congress over here is freaking the F out of over a point of no return with the national debt, getting a bit worried. I have heard bits and pieces about that, but I would imagine that something like that may happen in America, especially with this whole current Biden administration, which is a complete shambles of an administration at the moment. Gamma Sandwich got a letter today from the DHS saying shielding and lockdowns are off the list now. I have been getting updates due to my status as vulnerable. All right, fair enough. Then again, there's a strong possibility that that might change, but we never know. I think it's a case of we'll just wait and see what happens with that. Let's see. And of course, Streaky Bacon in response to the Chris Dawn petition. WTF is cynical about honoring our own. Exactly. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. There's completely fine of honoring our own people. Definitely nothing wrong with that. Oh, a familiar face. Hello, Jay. How you doing, bro? Thank you very much for being here. Really appreciate you watching the show. And also, again, in fact, chat, let's put a 14 in the chat just now for both Jay and Kerr, two of the hosts of Pay Young Scots, as a way of supporting them. Please, if you all could put a 14 in the chat for them just now, that would be much appreciated. And also, Jay, thank you very much for watching the show. I've signed it twice and it posted on Gab and Twitter. Well, for that, Jojo, thank you very much for doing that. And also, Ragnar Ironspear, thank you very much for watching the show. Thank you very much for sharing the petition as well. That's be much appreciated of you to do that. Rigor Mortis, how you doing? Chief Woody, did you see the Scottish Government backed a group of BAMEs to examine how racist our museums are and how we are responsible for slavery? I have not seen that. I'm actually surprised I haven't seen that whatsoever, but to be honest with you, should I really be that surprised that the SNP, or not just as the SNP, but the entire Scottish Government, complete traitors to the whole Scottish population, would back a group of BAMEs and trying to examine our museums and trying to figure out just how racist and how we're responsible for slavery? I'm not entirely that surprised at that, and nor should anyone be that surprised at this point. It's completely shameful, absolutely shameful. Trying to deconstruct our own people and our own history and culture just so that, because we're trying to be all progressives and whatnot. Get fucked. Unbelievable. Let me have a look here and see. But thank you, Rigor Mortis, for pointing that out to me. That I'm much appreciative of that from you. Thank you very much. A lot of people have put in 14 in the chat. That's much appreciated, including everyone's favorite Aunt Sally. Hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the show. Exiled Viking, I signed the original Chris D petition. That's very good. If you haven't done so with the new petition on the PA website, please do so. If you haven't done so already, that'd be much appreciated. Sorry, excuse me. Lester Boyle, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the show. Let me just have a quick look and see. And Charlie Kirkwright, Ken Wright, sorry, my bad. Kirkwright, thank you very much for watching the show. And Jay, thanks, King. No worries, Jay. Thank you very much for watching the show. There you go. There you go. Where was I? Here we go. Rory Herbert. Chief Moody, the NHS knocked on my door at 8:20 this morning to check that my daughter was at home after flying in from Portugal. I mentioned the Gestapo and told them to get off my property. That's pretty based, I have to say. That's very based of you to do that. The Gestapo. English Rose. Chris Donald's murder was brutal and yet got very little acknowledgement. Disgusting. It is disgusting. I think, in fact, even the general public even criticised that that the mainstream media only covered like a small piece of the case here and there. But compare that to something like the George Floyd case, which was plastered everywhere. It was plastered all over the American mainstream media. It was plastered all across the United Kingdom mainstream media. It was everywhere. You could not go anywhere without seeing George Floyd this and BLM that. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. But hey, a bunch of foreigners killing a white boy. Oh, well, that doesn't matter. You know, who cares? Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Where was I? Let me see. Everyone's just typing in 14 in the chat. Tony Smith, hello, sir. Thank you very much for watching the show. Here it is 9 out of the 11 in the group is non-white, and the remaining 2 is non-Scottish. It's not Scottish. Fair enough. Fair enough. Right, I think I'm all up to date with the chat here. Dotskin, laughed my ass off. I had to Google what a BAME is and the USA equivalent is. But BIPOC, it makes them sound like a race from Star Trek. Yeah, it definitely does sound like that. It definitely does. The SFP are just a bunch of Charlie United Nail Tangos. I see what you did there, Exile Viking. I see what you did there. Very clever, very clever. Let me see here. One from Noel. Chief Moody, all this time, UK government telling us about HGV driver shortages, and turns out it's actually a blockage of 54,000 HGV licenses, exacerbated by DVLA staff strikes, DVLA WFH Swansea. I have seen bits and pieces of that. In fact, I've watched a video from, what's his name? He was a moderator for Laura's debate with Ricky Doolan, Reverend Simon Sideways, I think the guy's name is. He's one of those lorry drivers as well. He even talked about this, how there's nothing to worry about. There's no such thing as oil shortages or driver shortages or anything like that at all. It's just a way of trying to control the masses. Like, even in some, in fact, I was in a store last night just to get a couple of things here and there, like milk and whatnot. And I seen like there was some aisles, like the crisp aisles was all sold out. You couldn't get a pack of crisp anywhere. So I was like, oh, that's pretty bad. So I think this whole thing, the whole panic buying of like petrol and whatnot, is just a complete farce. It's just a way of trying to control the masses as per usual. Just like something similar that happened with the start of the COVID pandemic. You remember the whole, was it Toilet Gate or something like that? Like, many people were panic buying all the toilet rolls from big major retailers like Asda, Tesco, what's the other place? Morrison's, I think it is. You know, all these like big name brands and whatnot. It was just ridiculous. It was just absolutely ridiculous. All these people panic buying for no reason really, other than they think, oh, it's like the end times are coming or something like that. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Spiffy Acorn, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the show. I really do appreciate that. I'm sure there's more comments coming through. Let's see. Shinobi, hello, how you doing? One second, more people coming through. Hi Tower, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching the show. Much appreciated. Shinobi, you write, Rangers, my old team, getting beat. 8 out of 11 players are black. Took a knee in Prague too. Oh, that's absolutely shameful. Still doing that, taking the knee for to stand up against racism. Ugh, shut up. It's just complete utter cuckery, that is. Jojo Gizmo, I visited the Edinburgh Slavery Museum at the weekend. The gift shop was shite, so I went to the Roots bar to get lashed. Fair enough. Thank you for visiting Edinburgh. So, English Rose, BME get to decide what parts of our culture to deconstruct, while the indigenous people, whites, don't even get a seat at the table. Privilege. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It really makes you wonder which group of people in our society who really has privilege here. Because let me give you a bit of a hint to that. It's certainly not white people or the indigenous people of these islands that have privilege. Definitely not us. In fact, you could even say we've become the second-class citizens in our own country, as I made that point before on the show. But it definitely does bear repeating regarding to that. Let me see. TT Foley, how you doing? Thank you for watching the show. They are relatives of Klingons, to be honest. in regards to the BAME community, I can see that. I can definitely see that. WFH, sorry, working from home, lazy cunts. Fair enough. Control the market. Yes, exactly. Control the market. Exactly that. They are all British drivers. Swansea DVLA workers being lazy. No, there you go. There you go. Let me see. Football gutless twats. Yes, indeed they are. I think anyone who, well, not just football, but I think anyone who takes the knee for BLM or any BAME group doesn't deserve to have any respect whatsoever. You have completely submitted to the enemy at that point and I have no right to complain whatsoever. Delta Trotsky 125. Fuel was much cheaper the first lockdown because they couldn't sell it. There we go. Yeah, because most people were staying at home at that point. No, don't need foreign drivers as Gov wants. Of course. To be fair, they were full of shit. Spiffy Acorn. Lack of potato chips might be a blessing of those trying to fix their diets. If you can't get it, you can't eat it. Again, very fair point, Spiffy. Very fair point. That should be like a wake-up call for all these people. Oh, I want a packet of crisps. That definitely should be a wake-up call for these people to get more fit instead of just sitting on the arse doing absolutely, yeehaw or anything like that. An old saying in Scotland, I think where I live in this case, but real quick. It's a religious ritual. I can see that. I can see that point. Thank the Lord, even to you too. Thank you for watching the show. Doskin again. I never cared for nor revived the Europeans having bit. I don't know if I can say it. Sorry, what's that? Bidets in their toilets until the Koof crowd went on their toilet paper raids. Fair enough. Is free bento still in stock? I'm not entirely too sure of that, to be quite honest with you. Not entirely too sure. Let me see. Jojo Gizmo again. I had to queue for 3 hours at a petrol station today, and I only wanted a Ginster's pasty. That's ridiculous. That 3 hours, and all that because you're waiting for people to because people are panic buying. That's ridiculous. We are second class, and normies are blind if they cannot see this. Exactly, Streaky Bacon. Good evening, even to you too, English Sailor. Thank you very much for watching the show. Let me see here. I think this me all up to date with this chat, so that's good. Chance of a lockdown this Christmas is 100%, but you can guarantee the DFS Christmas sale will be on. Exactly that. Luckily, all ships and boats have huge amounts of diesel on board. There we go. I can't bear to watch football anymore after being a regular attendee at my local football league club for years. Wouldn't go near it anymore. I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. I think some people that I know still watch football despite the fact that they completely disagree with the whole political aspect to it. But to me, it's just like, well, if you don't agree with that, then I'm sorry, but you're still part of the problem because you're still watching it at the end of the day. If you really want the stuff, to stop, maybe there'd be. I think it could be like a good reason as to maybe look into it a lot more than just doing absolutely nothing to prevent it. So, free bentos is in Iceland at £1.50 with 5 different types. After eating, you can wear the tin as a hat like I do. That's fair enough. Don't think I've actually heard of that packet before, but there we go. Currently living in America, I wish the fuel-efficient cars like Ford Fiestas were still here. Fuel is getting stupid expensive as dealerships now only sell massive pickup trucks and SUVs now. I actually have a question in regard to the fuel shortages. Now, I know there's people like the mainstream media are trying to blame Brexit, like, oh, this is all because we've left the European Union and because of Brexit. This is why all this stuff is happening. No, I think that's just... It's not just a cop-out, but I think that's done on purpose, like blaming Brexit. I actually have a question for everyone in the chat just now about the fuel shortages. Could it be a strong possibility that all this fuel shortages could be a possibility of trying to promote electric cars, because that seemed to be like a thing that's popped up everywhere recently. You have all certain locations that have recharge not centers, but stations, if you will. So basically, if you have an electric car, you can go to this specific location to recharge your car and all of that. So I don't know if that's to do with it. They're trying to really push this idea of electric cars for people to buy, which I don't know how anyone can afford an electric car, but it's just maybe like a theory to throw out there. So I don't know if anyone would agree or not, but that's just a theory of mine regarding to that. Let me see here, one sec. Spiffy Acorn, it's probably because they want to push electric cars. That's exactly my point, Spiffy. That's exactly my point. Again, we might be totally wrong on that, but again, it's a good theory to throw out there, of course. Exile Viking. Some people have found a new part-time professional being petrol vampires, and there are others buying red diesel. All this thanks to the panic buyers, exactly. Which I guess you could say it could be something that might create like some kind of black market. Like, hey, if you lost all your fuel, then guess what? We got some fuel here, so I guess it's going to be starting that pretty soon, if not already in this case. There is no actual fuel shortage in America. We have the means to make it cheaper, but they won't use them. Right, there we go then. Let me see here. What if the grid goes down? How can you change your electric car? That's actually a pretty decent point. That's a very decent point, actually. Oops, Amanda Lee. It's all about promoting electric car and the green agenda. Well, again, very valid point to me. But even Delta in the chat made a very good point. Well, if the grid goes down, then how can people charge their electric car? Which is a very valid point regarding to that. It's also about making people scared about leaving major cities or towns so they can control them easier. Exactly. Instead of having people going off the grid, which is something that I've been thinking about for a while now. I actually watched a couple of videos on YouTube that were actually pretty decent. Like people actually living off the grid and going their own way and making their own homes. In fact, let me just quickly see if I can get them up just now as an example. On YouTube, of course. Let me see if I can find that video. It's definitely on my likes. Let me see. Now, I never really watched these types of videos, but I just noticed it on my recommendations list. And I was just really fascinated because I'm just thinking, how the hell, like, because I thought maybe it'd be something that could be very difficult. If you don't know what you're doing in terms of going off the grid and whatnot. But where is that video? I think it's this one. Now, I'm not going to, of course, play the whole thing, but this is something that was really fascinating to me. And I'll even also post it in the chat if you guys want to check it out for yourselves, either just now or maybe later on if you want. So hold on, let me see here. Posted the link in the chat here just now. And then I shall share the screen again. So the video is called 50 Years of Grid, Architect Maker Paradise Amid NorCal Redwoods. Let me just show you the house first of all. I mean, even just the inside of it looks pretty decent. Hope I don't get. I'm sure I won't get hit with a copyright strike or anything like that. But if I do, don't know how. But we'll see from there. So of course, out in the woods. This is in Mendocino County, California. I know it's a degenerate state of California, but just bear with it.
I own 400 acres. As a young person coming on the land, I could not believe that nobody wanted this. We came on the land and there was no water, no roads, no bridges. There was nothing, but there were trees. Right here was a tree. I cut the tree and I made it fall. I created stresses in what's called the hinge here, and it went perfect. Boom. The top broke. And the tree went down, halfway down on that ledge. I said, uh-oh, we're in trouble. There's no way in the world we're going to lift this thing up. I tied a chain up on a tree up there, and I have this World War II winch. I said, okay, Vanneray, you and I will get on here. Get 1, 2, 3, jump. And we jumped, And it went up an increment. Oh, yeah. So then we just cranked it up and we built.
Sorry, just pause it real quick. I mean, if that's supposed to be like a bridgeway to his house, that's actually pretty based, I have to say. But I've always liked stuff like that, whether it be out of the woods, you off the grid, or actually in a specific area that your house is in. If you have something like that, an actual bridge that leads to your household, that's pretty awesome. I've always liked stuff like that.
Our bridge on top of the log. It's been there like 40 years. Everything on this farm that you'll see, there was nothing here. We never hired help. You got to remember, we came on the land, we had absolutely no money. This cost $8,500 to build. And so even doorknobs, see, we made our own doorknobs.
I mean, look at
The
that.
size of the house depended on the trees. There's no outside. We integrate the whole thing. I had no choice. I wanted to tuck it in, and I got the house. I couldn't decide on how big the house was. I didn't make that decision. I just tucked it right into the, and that way it becomes a part of it.
Right, let me see if I can actually get a point of view of the house itself. Like, look at that. I mean, of course, the inside already is actually pretty awesome regarding to that, and it's really great. I mean, even just the outside. I mean, could you even imagine living in a place like that, completely off the grid, nowhere near civilization or anything like that at all? Waking up in the morning, having like tea, like Grandma Teller's tea or coffee, if you will, regarding to that. And then just going outside, having fresh air, and it's a beautiful morning, and it just, the sunrise and whatnot, and just seeing like the peaceful forest area like that to me is like paradise right there. Like, that's just amazing. That I think there should be like another scene of inside the house as well. Now this is only, and of course, it's a farm. He did say that there's maybe multiple buildings, I'm not mistaken, but again, I won't showcase the full video, but the link is in the chat just now if you want to check it out later on, if you guys want. I highly do recommend checking it out.
So one day I sat down here and I says, this is where I want to build a house. I had absolutely no idea of what I was going to do. And I looked up there and I says, oh, there's the sky, there's the trees. I want that point of reference to be the beginning of the house. So I thought, okay, I want this curve because orientation and everything is perfect. And so then, whoa, in 1 second, that's established. So then I get up and I look up here and I said, oh, I don't want that ceiling to be that high and coming this way. So I said, let's bring it down to human scale. Then I turn around and I said, oh, I want to look uphill. 20 seconds, the whole house was designed. But see, what's interesting about this kind of thing is that we had the sawmill, we had the lumber, all this we harvested. Vanner and I were the laborers. Within the concept was every element required to come from start to finish. We were able to do the whole house without help, without contractors, without anybody. So what happens when you go from concept to completion without external elements, there's a personal sort of expression that you will not get if you have to have other people involved. Okay, you okay? You know, it's real pretty looking up there. When it's raining, it looks like the rain's going to come right on your head. And you're there and you kind of duck a bit. And rain come down. It's so nice.
It's great, that. Absolutely fantastic, that. One thing, like a minor complaint regarding to like the bed position there, is that I'm someone who's all about privacy. So whenever I have like in my room or anything like that at all, it becomes late at night. I always want to have like curtains or blinders to shut. Again, it's all to do with that privacy and whatnot. So if I had a house like that, I would definitely have some form of blinders or curtains, just so when it's late at night or anything like that, I get some form of privacy and just like close them, of course. So, but that's just like a minor complaint I have with that. But hey, other than that, it's absolutely incredible. He said that it cost him, what was it, 85,000 or something like that, but he still built it out of like no money whatsoever. Well, at least I think anyway. But that should be pretty inspirational for people who want to go off the grid. That should be like an inspiration to you, where it's like, hey, if this old guy managed to, like years ago managed to do it, then it's like I can do it. And honestly, you should definitely take that chance regarding to that. Definitely should take that chance. And like I said, I'm not gonna go into. I'll just stop the video there because, like I said, I'm not gonna go really into the entire video. Like I said, I'll even also post it again in the chat just in case if you've missed it. There it is right there. So if you want to watch the video like all the way through it, there's the link for that video there if you want to check it out. But yeah, definitely give that video a like and even more importantly, share it around on other platforms as well. Again, just for people to showcase them, hey, if you want to live off the grid, check this video out. This would be a prime example to do that. Let me see. Move on to something else. I'll definitely get into another topic I was going to talk about after the Chris Donald petition. John Enoch Powell, MBE, hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the show. Imagine waking to look out of those lovely glass windows to find a bear taking a dump on your decking. Could think of worse things to worry about. That's a possibility, that, John. Definitely a strong possibility. English Rose, as close to true freedom as is now possible. Exactly that. Definitely agree. But at Water Park, haha, my house was built 110 years ago, facing the wrong direction. Oh dear. Excuse me. Still, self-sufficiency is always based. Exactly that. That house easily could go for hundreds of thousands if it went on market in California. Lol. Yeah, that's a very good point, because I can guarantee people would look at that and think, I would want to live in that house. Definitely. Personal goals right here. Exactly that. Chinese solar panels. Yeah, but I guess if there could be an argument to be made that you have to make energy somehow, especially if you're out in the woods in the middle of fucking nowhere. So I mean, yeah, there's a possibility that you'll need to make energy, somehow. But there we go. FF, good evening to you too. Thank you for watching the show. Jojo Gizmo, Chief Moody, you need to have a word with Jody Kay and persuade her to stay on YouTube, even if it's just once a month, because she's good at bringing new people over to our side. I can see that. Yeah, I think ultimately speaking, it is entirely up to herself if she wants to stay on YouTube or move over to DLive or Odyssey, which I can understand why many people would want not just Jody to stay on YouTube just for a little bit longer, but maybe myself or PA Talk or who's actually still on YouTube with regard to our community and whatnot. I think it's really just that's it. I think it's just only the 3 or 4 shows, and that's it. Oh well, I know Ayatollah is still on YouTube. I don't know if he's still streaming on a Friday on a weekly basis, or if he's taking a break. I'm not entirely too sure, but that's pretty much it. It's just really 3, 4, I think maybe 5 of us, but that's it. But I know that Mark, Kenny, Laura, and everyone else who really wants us moved over to Odyssey, and I can understand why many people would want us to stay on YouTube again just for a wee bit longer. But I think I really don't want to come off as like a like a kick to the balls or anything like that at all, Jojo. But I think there's a strong possibility that it's going to happen either way. I mean, I could maybe, I don't know. I mean, because I really don't want to come off as if like, oh no, like you must stay on YouTube and all of that. It is entirely up to herself if she wants to stay on YouTube just for maybe a wee bit longer, even if it's going to be like a monthly thing. Because as you said, Jojo, she is, which I do agree, she is very good at bringing more people over to our side. Because when it comes to the mainstream media, they always talk about our side filled with people who are the most horrible, abhorrent people on the planet. But then you get someone like Jodie, who's like the polar opposite of that. She is the most down to earth, most kind-hearted person you'll ever meet with our community. And I agree that she is one of the best people to have. People who not know anything about our community, like PA or ethno-nationalism, and she's the master of bringing those people over. So all I'll say to that is I'll see if I can try, but I don't know, because I don't really speak to Jodie that much. It's just really a comment here and there, but that's pretty much it, really. But I'll see. I'll definitely see. But it is ultimately her decision at the end of the day. But of course, like I said, don't be surprised if all of us moved over to Odyssey or DLive anytime soon, because even I've been thinking about that for a while. What I'm thinking about doing is I'll stay on YouTube for a little bit longer, and I'm thinking about using DLive and Odyssey. But the problem is that, and I've tried this a couple of times in the past, of trying to use those streams at the same time, but for whatever reason, I could never hook them up properly for the life of me. I got the stream keys and all of that here and there and hooked them up to the website, but for some reason, nothing never gets played or on those platforms or anything like that, which is strange. So I'm going to see if I can get Sam or anyone else who is very technical on those platforms to help me out with that, and then we'll definitely see from there. But until then, just need to wait and see regarding to that. So need to wait and see. Streaky Bacon, what an amazing guy. Yeah, he definitely is an amazing guy. Very based, I must say, regarding to that. Very based. Let's see. Yeah, there are places where they can't even keep the lights on in summer. Yep, there we go. When everyone has an electric car, there will be power cuts, so they won't be able to use them anyway. Exactly. Very good point, Amanda. Very good point. That's me up to date with that point in the chat. I can't even change a light bulb, thank the Lord. Ah, dear. Let me see here. I'm sure there's a lot more comments here as well from Amanda again. I wish I could live like this. Like this, it looks wonderful. It definitely does. I certainly wish I would live off the grid like that, but I think it's a problem of time, money, and I was going to say like a third thing, but I think those are the two major problems with that. But I'm sure there may be a way around it, but I'm sure as a community one day we'll definitely figure something out. Reminds me of John Matrix's place in the movie Commando. I never thought about that until you brought that up, Noel. That's a very valid point. Very valid point. It definitely looks like something from the film Commando. Let me see. Yeah, Gamma Sandwich. Chief Moody told us still streams on Fridays. Right, there we go. That's fine. So it's my show, Jodie's show, well, be once a month kind of thing. Ayatollah's show and PA Talk. I think those are the 4 shows that are still streaming on YouTube. If I'm missing anyone out, please let me know. But I'm pretty sure those are the main shows that get brought up. Julia Skinner, yeah, you've been on the show watching it in the past. But hello, chat. Hello, Chief. Hello to you too. Thank you very much for watching the show. Really appreciate that. Odyssey is great, like old school YT was. Yeah, I've actually been using Odyssey a lot more in terms of watching some content. AlphaGo. In fact, is it just me, or am I the only person who's been having problems with Odyssey today? Because I've tried to watch a couple of videos on that website a couple of times, mainly a couple of episodes from Killstream and whatnot. But for some reason, it's having a lot of issues of loading up. So I don't know if it's just me or if anyone else has a similar issue with Odyssey. But I don't know if it's something being worked on, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. And also Kingdom of Vinland, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching the show. Colin Gibson, Hi, Chief. Sorry, I'm late. Did you look up that thing I told you about? If so, what do you think? No, and you don't need to apologize, Colin. I appreciate you being here anyway. What was that thing you mentioned on the previous episode? Because I think I might have looked it up. But I'm not entirely too sure. Let me see. This stream is making me Minecraft and Kaczynski build. Fair enough. He could just shoot them. Imagine if a convoy of whoa. Yeah, there we go. No, I think he said 8,500, right? That is freaking insanely cheap for housing. Oh well, there you go. 8,500, right. I thought it was a lot more than that, but if it's that amount, then yeah, there we go. Let me see here. I follow Mark and Laura on Odyssey, but I find that there is a lot of buffering in the streams. Yeah, well, I don't know about me. I think it depends on people's like broadband connection or something like that. Because from my experience with Odyssey and when it's live, it's been relatively working fine if it's working on Mark's stream or Laura's stream with Sam. The only stream I've had an issue with that was just this morning with Urbadurber, because I tried watching his stream earlier on, but for some reason it's not really working for me. It does work up to a certain point and then it buffers. So again, I don't know if it ties into earlier on, like maybe there was a problem with the entire website and it's being looked into here, but who knows? We'll definitely see from there. So. Let me see. There will be no-go zones too. Your car won't take you there. Your self-driving car will detect any hate speech and redirect you to the police station. I wouldn't be surprised if something like that were to happen at some point. I wouldn't be surprised about that whatsoever. Odyssey works for Urbadurber and Morgoth. See, I've had that issue, as I just said, I've had that issue with Urbadurber this morning, but it's only just maybe this morning with that. We have the best and the most considerate people. We do, AlphaGo. We definitely do with that. Definitely true. Need an energy storage tech that lasts indefinitely. Line is what? 10 years? I don't know. I think it's somewhere around about that. I thought Jodie was going to do a monthly stream as she is getting busy with her soaps as well. I think she's definitely going to be doing a monthly streaming at this point. I don't know if anything might change up until then, but again, it's a case of just waiting and seeing, but we'll see from there. So I really think our guys should still have a presence on YouTube just because it is basically an advertiser platform now. No reason to not have the most eyes on your message. Again, very valid point, Duskin. Very valid point. I can also see, as I said before, it's a lot more convenient for a lot of people, because YouTube is a massive platform compared to Odyssey, DLive. You can even say also BitChute, but even then, BitChute has become completely cucked at this point. I wouldn't recommend using that anymore at this point. Right, let me see what else has been said. And actually, as a matter of fact, folks, what I'm just going to do, I'll be right back in just a couple of minutes. I'm not going to put myself on mute or anything like that. What I'm just going to do is just put my light on, and then I'll come straight back. Of course, as I'm moving, hold on one sec. You can still hear me while I'm doing the stream. Of course, maybe a bit of a distance, of course, but I'll just be right back. I'll put the light on. Because at this point, it's just approaching to 7 o'clock. So we've got about an hour to go on the show. And then we shall finish at 8 p.m. Who's going to be live this evening at 8 p.m.? I think it's John Davidson will be live, the Blathering Pensioner. I think Wes and No Chance will be live this evening as well for what's the name of their podcast again? I'm terrible with names. One second. I definitely should know the name of their stream at least. Wait a minute. Let me see here. Sure, they posted something earlier this week about that. Oh no, did they stream live last night? No, because usually they stream around about this day on the Thursday at 9 p.m. Notorious, that's the name of their stream. That's the name of it. Notorious, yes. Let's see, just came up. Not came up with it. Just reminded myself with that. So I'm just came back here. Pull the screen a little bit. There we go. Odyssey buffers like mad for me. Yeah, I think ultimately with that, it just depends on your own internet connection. But we'll see. A buggy or a carty with a bed sheet for sale. Wind power. There we go. That sounds pretty awesome. Let me see here. A lot of our YouTubers who move over to BitChute, Odyssey, or DLive just give up eventually because of the very small audiences on those sites. See, I think people who do that, who move over to other platforms and quit because they don't get enough audiences or whatnot, I think that's just a sign of not just complete cowardice, but I think they're in it for the wrong intentions. I think if you're going to be a nationalist, whether it's activising or content creating, or even both for that matter, like myself, it shouldn't matter how many subscribers or how many people are watching the stream. I think what is more important is that regardless of how many is watching, your message does get out there. So I think people who originally are on YouTube move over to another platform because they got yeeted off or anything like that at all, and then decide to quit because they don't have enough people watching, it's a sign of complete utter cowardice, and I think they're in it for the wrong purposes. It shouldn't matter how many people are watching the show. As long as your message does get out there, that's the main important aspect to that. Just take me for example, right? I know people like Jody gets about 100 plus viewers. I know Sam and Laura gets tons of people watching the show. Hell, even Mark and Jason on PWR gets about maybe 2,000 plus viewers. Like, just take me for example, right? At the moment, I've got 55 people watching. I'm still surprised at the amount of people that are watching the show just now. I mean, that alone, I'm still thankful for that. I could have like 1,000 people watching. I could have 10 people watching just now. What's more important to me is the message. The message is that our people have a right to self-determination and a right to exist. As long as that message is out there, then we're doing something great with that. It shouldn't matter how many people are watching the show regarding to that. But again, my apologies if it sounds like I'm going on a diatribe or anything like that at all. But what's important is that the message does get out there. The message is out there. So PC or phone, I'd say both, but most of the time I use my phone because I got the apps on my phone anyway, and I think it's a lot more convenient. Anytime I'm watching a stream, whether it's Mark's stream or Laura's or anyone else from PA or any other ethno-nationalist for that matter, or even not even an ethno-nationalist, if someone's live, if I have the laptop on, whether it's for like something to listen to while I'm working on something, like a script or a thumbnail or anything like that at all, at least I've got that in the background in this case. So I would say both, but ultimately speaking, I would use up my phone a lot more. So there you go. AlphaGo. No, I think it might be you or OD Chief Moody. Oh, fair enough. So it might be to do with like maybe someone's internet connection or anything like that, but it ultimately depends on that. So let's see here. Exactly, quality, not quantity, Chief. Exactly that. It's all about the quality. As long as the quality is good, that's all that matters with that. So, Chief Woody, you've got it wrong, mate. But you're only talking to the already converted over to those sites. You're more likely to pick up converts on YouTube, right? That's fair. That's totally fair. Fair enough on that. What's Rumble like, UK calling? Yeah, I've seen a lot of people using Rumble. I've never actually went on the website at the moment, but I've heard some people like Rumble, but mostly people like Sevnats or like nationalists, but but they don't identify themselves as ethno-nationalists use Rumble. So I can't really comment at the moment, but because of course, mainly because I've not used Rumble or anything like that, but it could be something I can have a look into at some point. We'll see from there. Oh, that's right, Colin. Yeah, I was talking about the guy Addy, a game that Goodfellow covered. Oh, that's right. That rings a bell. Yeah, honestly, I've not had a chance to look that up, but since you brought that up, let me just see if I can get my notebook. I don't know if I actually written this down already, but usually I write this stuff down just to keep my memory check with that. Let's see, Goodfella guy idea game. Of course, that Goodfella covered. Just write that down real quick. And bada bing, bada boom. Right, there we go. I've written that down, Colin. So I'll definitely give that a watch and see from there. And then I will definitely get back to you on that, whether it be Sunday's episode or next week's episode. We'll see from there. But thank you for reminding me of that. I was just thinking, what was it that you brought up? Was it something in particular? But no, there we go. So thank you. Let's see here. Yeah, nefarious podcast if people bring it up on the show. That's fine. So I will have the echo chamber up for discussion inside for vids for me. There we go. Fair enough. Got to go enjoy the stream, everyone. Charlie Kirk Kenwright, thank you very much for watching the show. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Let's see. Gab is where it's at. In terms of being the replacement to Twitter, I agree. Twitter is just complete, utter cancer at this point. I'm actually surprised I'm still on that platform because of course, I'm not trying to like Fed post or anything like that, but I'm trying my best to, in the most normal way possible, trying to get myself deplatformed because at this point on, Twitter is just a complete shambles of a platform. It's just I really don't recommend people using it at this point. Odyssey is proper buffering today, right? So it might not be just me with that, right? Fair enough. Kingdom of Finland, Chief Rudy, EVs are better than gas cars for self-efficiency shit because you can make your own electricity easier than you can for gas. Gas for an internal combustion engine car. They can be a generator too. There we go. Fair enough. Maybe Odyssey has been sabotaged. I don't know. I don't know if I would go that far, but I think maybe it's just like tech issues that I'm sure it's being worked on. Currently speaking, that is. Jason Gibson, try a different device. I had issues on my PC, but works fine on my phone. Right. Okay. Yeah, because I've heard of that complaint before. If it's issues with your phone, it might be that. So try using PC or laptop, or vice versa. So it might be also to do with the devices, which is a good point with that. So there we go. Right. Okay. Let me see here. I'll see if I get up to date. On your feet, right? What do you think about Telegram? I like Telegram a lot. I think Telegram is I think it can be either or for some people, but I personally like Telegram. I think Telegram is a good way to promote your stuff, to share information, whether it be stuff you found on other platforms, to share it on there. But I hope Telegram doesn't completely, become like completely cucked like BitChute. But a case of only time will tell. But even then, I think when it comes to that, Telegram is definitely a decent platform for people to use. And speaking of Telegram, let me just quickly show my Telegram page because I've got 336 followers so far, or people subscribed to my official Telegram page. Let me just copy the link and paste it into the chat. So if you haven't done so already, which I imagine so many people have done at the moment, if you haven't done so already, please follow me on Telegram. It would be much appreciated. That way you would get more updates on future streams, potential future episode or future videos on my channel. And of course, any updates or anything like that at all, you can easily find them on my Telegram page. So there you go. Let me see here. I think what I'll do now is it's 7:05, 55 minutes to go, and then we will move on to the next topic. Oh yeah, covered that already, and also covered that video. That's fine. Right. 236. Yeah. There we go. Right. Okay. Notepad out. And then, oh yeah, this was another thing I was going to talk about after the Chris Donald petition. But then after that, I got carried away with other things to talk about. So I think that tonight's episode is more about just talking to you guys, which is pretty decent. But there was another thing I was going to talk about this past week, which something that I forgot to talk about in previous episodes. But I know Sam and Laura talked about this on the PA community stream not too long ago. And let me just get this up here real quick. But it's been pretty good news when it comes to PA. Is this one here. Important update regarding discussion of demographics in the UK. So this was published by Laura on September 28th of 2021. In February of this year, the Commission for Countering Extremism, whose aim is to provide independent advice on extremism, presented a report to the government titled Operating with Impunity, Hateful Extremism, the Need for a Legal Framework. The document, which was created by Sarah Khan and Mark Rowley, and which can be viewed in full here, which of course I'm sure many people have seen it already, named Patriotic Alternative, Mark Collett and Laura Taylor by name, suggesting quite rightly that our work is not addressed by either hate crime or counterterrorism legislation because they neither directly threaten individuals or groups with protected characteristics or explicitly encourage violence or terrorist acts, which of course, definitely true. We never encourage anything like that whatsoever. We just only focus on making our point, which is our people are becoming a minority by 2066, and we want to prevent that from happening, which that's it. That's the whole point of our goal regarding to that. Never advocate for violence, nor will we ever will do anything like that. Not because it's completely unnecessary to do so, but if anyone from PA were to encourage violence or anything like that at all, which no one in our community ever does that, but if it ever were to be a point, that would instantly kill the entire platform of PA right there. So, but even then, we would never advocate for violence whatsoever, nor any other group for that matter. So, just continue on from there. Khan and Rowley therefore made a number of suggestions that the law be changed to include hateful extremism as a new offence. One example of hateful extremism carried out by I can never say that word right, Patriotic Alternative, according to Khan and Rowley, was their activities delivering leaflets about white Britons becoming a minority by 2066. To clarify, the document admitted that Patriotic Alternative has not broken the law and thus suggested that the law be changed in order to stop us talking about topics such as demographics. And from what I remember back in February, people like Sarah Khan and Mark Rowley were really trying to push this of trying to make it illegal to talk about demographic changes here in the UK, which that would have spelt disastrous for us, which I know that there was people in our community that were justifiably worried about that. I wasn't entirely too worried about that myself because I figured even if it was going to be illegal, it's not going to stop us from spreading that message out anyway. So why bother making it illegal other than you just want to create like a power struggle and then trying to make us stop doing it from what we want to do, which is spread the message across. Let me see from here. We received no response to our offer. However, we did subsequently learn that Sarah Khan had stepped down from her position at the Commission for Counter-Extremism. Between then and September 2021, which of course was this month, of course, we received no further correspondence and were provided with no update regarding whether or not the government would implement Khan and Rowley's suggestions and make criticism of demographic change illegal. Now, this is where, of course, we get to the update. September 2021 update. On September 24th, 2021, Patriotic Alternative were sent a letter which was written to Michael Gove and from Priti Patel, responding to a constituents' concerns over the above-mentioned report. The letter can be viewed in full here, as we mentioned just earlier on. Some parts of the letter have been censored to protect the identity of the constituent. The two key paragraphs of the letter are as follows. In his correspondence, this person raises concerns regarding the Commission for Countering Extremism report operating the, of course, we read the title earlier on. This report was the work of the previous elect commissioner for the Commission for Countering Extremism, Sarah Khan. The role of the lead commissioner is to provide independent advice on extremism, and the views expressed in the report do not represent the views of the government, so on and so forth. All of it is in the article. I'm feeling like I'm actually reading through the article to you guys, which I'm not going to do. So basically, long story short, the good news is that the government have decided not to go through with this position in terms of trying to make it illegal. So basically, everyone still has a right to talk about demographic changes and whatnot. It's not been made illegal whatsoever by the government, which is very good news for not just for Mark and Laura, but I would imagine everyone from PA and even just other ethno-nationalists would be praising this because that means we can continue on spreading the message about our people, which of course is again very good stuff. Surprising myself, I've never brought this up on the previous episodes, but there we go. So it's all out there that we still talk about demographic changes. And so on, and see from there in the future. I don't suppose it's illegal to talk about demographics in Israel. That's a very valid point, Rory. Very valid point, especially for a country of Israel. But no, it's the whole rules for thee, another for thee. That whole argument or point. Let me see here. That's fine. But it's very good news. Definitely very good news. Spiffy Acorn, white genocide isn't happening, therefore we are making it illegal to talk about it, which, by the way, enjoy 10,000 refugees in your cozy town and don't call us if your daughters go missing. Sincerely, the UK. Well, there we go. So, but thankfully it's not being made illegal to talk about demographic changes or anything like that. So that's all good stuff. The writing is on the wall. Yeah, it's definitely, we can see from that. It is very good news, as we talked about there. Enoch Powell would be heartbroken to see us now. He would be. I would imagine not only that, I would imagine also making the point about he would be spinning in his grave right around now because of all the stuff that's going on in his current climate. Let me just have a quick look and see any other updates. There's not really been any more updates, although I do see there's about 64 people like the episode, which is really good. Please keep hitting that like button. That would be much appreciated. And I think I've gained 3 or 4 more subscribers. So currently speaking, I'm on 1,214 subs on YouTube, which is actually really good numbers. And also I've got 86 people watching my Odyssey, which that's another update I should have mentioned earlier on. Let me just quickly get my Odyssey channel up real quick, because I got 86 people following my Odyssey channel, and so far there are some episodes of Mood of the Nation on there. There is 11 episodes, but the 11th episode is episode 25. But that's only because I think that my Odyssey channel is connected to my YouTube, so that's why the episode was on there. So let me have a look here and see. But there's my Odyssey channel right there, and I also, so yes, some episodes are on my Odyssey. More episodes will be coming up along the way. I would imagine throughout this week. I'm sure maybe more either later on tonight or tomorrow at best. Although tomorrow morning I'm going to be quite busy when it comes to that. But like I said, more episodes will be coming very, very shortly. Hello, Gnome White. How you doing? Thank you very much for watching the show. Really appreciate that. Let me just post my link. Oh, have I not copied it? Hold on. Copy. Wait a minute. Why is it not? Okay, my keyboard is completely backed up on me with that. That's terrific. My mouse is still working, so that's fine and dandy. So great. Awesome. Let me see. Or I wonder if, hold on, I can actually still do this technically. Yeah, perfect. Oh, and I'll even read this one real quick for Peter Walker. How you doing? Thank you for watching. The illegal channel migrants are the tip of the iceberg. Yes, they are. They are the tip of the iceberg. And then there we go. So my keyboard is not entirely working for whatever reason, but my mouse is still working, so I can still actually do things, which is still really good. But there's my Odyssey channel just now. If you haven't followed me on Odyssey, please do so. I would imagine, highly recommend you doing this, just in case if my YouTube channel gets yeeted off one day for whatever reason. There you can follow me on Odyssey with that. So I'm very close to 100 followers on Odyssey anyway, so if you can follow me there, that would be much appreciated. And also, Celtic Britain, thank you very much for watching the show. How you doing? Let me see. I'll go back onto here real quick. That's perfect timing when it comes to my keyboard. So there we go. Enoch didn't want it to be right, but unfortunately he was right, which is tragic, but it is what it is. No Chance video doing well. Which video is that, Shinobi? Because I've been seeing a lot of it posts from him about that. Is it the one about Hamza Yusuf falling over the scooter? Because I think he made two versions of that. One is like a short version, and one is like an hour long. Or if it's maybe his fairly recent one where he did like about the Labour conference. Oh, speaking of which, that's actually something that came into mind. Let's laugh at. Hold on. Let's laugh at the Labour conference for a moment, because, oh my God, the absolute cringe from these people. And I think that there's been conferences from the Labour Party, like, was it 4 or 5 days worth? I don't know how anyone can sit down and watch that crap. It's beyond me with regard to that. Now, the channel I've seen this on is from the Locust Eaters, which I know that Sargon's podcast, but I think that's probably the best video to watch the Labour conference at the moment. Let me see if I could find that real quick, and then we'll watch bits and pieces and just laugh at that stuff. Where's her more recent video? And I can click on the channel banner with that. Let me see. Should be able to find it here. It was just something that just came up in my head just now in terms of what we can watch at the moment. See, this makes it even more awkward without the keyboard not working, which is, yep, still not working. Great. Right, okay, let me see here. I should be able to find the more recent video here. Oh, you can find us on the Lucas Ear podcast. I should be able to find it on my subscription feed. Not that I'm subscribed to the Locust Eaters anyway, but it's still pretty cringe to say the least. In fact, I should be able to find. Right, let me see if I can find on-screen keyboard here. As I said, this just makes it even more awkward because I can't be able to type anything, which is, fantastic. Anyway, I don't know why this is doing that, but let me see. Right, let me see if I can find. One sec. Keyboard should be able to find that. God damn it. Dear. Sorry, guys. It's just because of this just makes it more awkward for me when it comes to my keyboard. Like, it just had to happen to almost in the middle of the show, that sort of thing. But let me see if I can find it in my history page. 1 minute. I definitely should be able to find it there. One sec. I can imagine some of you guys in the chat just now are just like, get on with it. Dear. Let me see. I should be able to find a Locust Eater video here somewhere. Let me see. The screen is not. No, it's not coming up. Right, that's fine. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Well, the theme song's in my head, so that's fantastic. It's like some kind of generic, like audio jungle type of music that he would use for their theme song. I think I'm very close to finding that. I'm not going to move on because I am determined to find this for you guys. I shall be able to find it here. Let me see. This is taking a very downward turn, hasn't it? Dear. Oh, dear. Oh, right. Okay. That's one of them. We can definitely check this out. Let me see. Labour Conference Abridged Episode 2. Oh my God. Yes, this is one of them. Right. Perfect. My apologies for the long delay there. Let me just click on this. And then here we go. 1 second. I don't know if you've seen this one, but this is one of them, but let's just endure this. And I hope you all are ready for this.
Capitalism is incapable of solving the problems it's created. Left to their own devices, bosses will continue to extract profits, exploit workers, lobby governments to halt change, and argue that our demands are radical, unreasonable, unworkable. Do not believe corporations when they say little individual lifestyle changes are good enough. Even with global lockdowns, emissions in 2020 were only 7% less than 2019. Only the structural, systemic change can save workers here and those in the global south and climate refugees will be disproportionately affected. We must cancel the debt of low-income countries so that they can fund their just transitions. And a just transition does not mean leaving workers behind, but putting our class front and centre with retraining and funding to put skills and experience to best use in socially useful work. Born in Middlesbrough, raised in the Northeast, I saw these long-term effects of Thatcherite deindustrialisation conference. Vote for Composite One for a socialist Green New Deal.
And we'll build an economy that will be based on collectivism, on universalism, and on equality.
Comrades, we stand at the crossroads between socialism and barbarism. Comrades,
capitalism has failed. It has failed both the climate and us.
I am 16 years old. I am sick and tired of missing school for climate strikes. I am sick and tired of the Tories.
Capitalism, comrades, capitalism is killing the planet. It's 2021 and no progressive party, no socialist party should be supporting fossil fuels at all. We need a radical, internationalist, socialist Green New Deal, not a watered down motion in favour of delay. That will do nothing for workers at all. And we will pay for it by taxing the rich. And yes, Rachel Reeves, there is a money tree. It's called the top 1%. So let's tax them. It's a forest. It is a forest. We will tax them and we will save this planet. And it can be done and we will do it. Solidarity, comrades. Solidarity.
4 years on, all we have is a weak and watered down online safety bill. While those platforms host growing levels of child abuse, self-harm and suicide content, anti-vax misinformation, discrimination, hate speech, and more. I see no contradiction in us also promoting home ownership. Not for more landlords or second homes, but for ordinary working people.
Comrades,
I am going to use 1 second before anyone puts their hands up. I am going to use this opportunity to ask for more speakers. But before anyone puts their hands up, I am aware, sitting here, one, it is very difficult to see all of you. There are very bright lights, which you can't really see when you sat down there. And two, the people putting their hands up do not reflect the diversity of the people in this hall. And that is very clear to me. I am afraid, and I'm not speaking from a position of particular strength here, there are too many white men putting their hands up. I am not anti-white men. Some of my favorite people, my dad's a white man. But I do not want white men to exclusively dominate this or any other debate at this conference. And following on from my comrade in the chair this morning, I do wish to see the diversity of the whole reflected. I'm not putting anybody on the spot here, but if you want to speak, do not be afraid to put your hand up. We want to hear from you. This is an...
I have a question for this dude, right? So if he thinks there's too many white guys in the conference wanting to ask questions, which, look, ultimately speaking, it's mostly men that are more interested in politics anyway. What is he doing up on the platform when he's a white guy? Oh, that's right. It's the rules for thee, another for thee. That whole argument. It's like, oh yes, I'm a white man, but I've checked my privilege, and I'm just making a point that we should have other voices making points, women and minorities and disabled people and blah 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 blah. So, but it's just absolutely ridiculous. And of course, I'm not going to play the whole entirety of the video. I mean, after all, this is only just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more to cover, but we'll not do that. Because it's pure, absolutely pure cringe. Let me just see if I can find. I'll find No Chance's video if you wouldn't mind me playing this. I'll post a link in the chat as well. Let me see here. Get back here real quick. He's a bit. Yeah, he's not white. He's a Jew. Oh, okay, right. That's fair enough. That's fair. That's a fair point to make. He's probably Jewish, the small hat. Let me see. Back to the queue, white man. Know your place, girl. Well, that's exactly what it is. It's literally just treating white men, or even white women for that matter, as second-class citizens. It's treating the indigenous people of these islands as cattle, and it's absolutely disgusting that. Anyway, we'll watch No Chance's video. I'll even also post a link in the chat, so please give it a like. Here we go. And then I'll get back onto here real quick. Again, I hope No Chance wouldn't mind me playing this, so I really hope he doesn't mind me doing so. Think of it as like a promotion for his video type of thing. But there we go.
Thank you, Delegate. I am going to use 1 second before everyone puts their hands up. I am going to use this opportunity to ask speakers, but before anyone puts their hands up, there are too many white men putting their hands up.
Of course, he put on the clip from Mrs. Doubtfire.
Chantal Waring, Labour International. I'm very proud to support this, actually, because as you can see, I'm a transgender lady. And
it's just good. It is, ma'am.
Thank you.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Anyway, hello, P8 episode 5 Barclay. I'll just come out with that just now. Oh my God. It is, ma'am.
Be fencing for it.
Oh,
but
turn it off. I don't need that. Well, there you go. That's the Labour conference. I'm sure you can watch a lot more of that on YouTube, but just bear in mind they're just completely cringe. oh, this has to be parody, surely. Oh, the guy at the Labour conference. No, I'm sure. Chantel was his name. Was the real deal. I'm sure of that much. But while I was putting that on, there was something I was going to talk about in terms of like a theme for the episode. It's LGBT plus. Now, I have covered this type of topic when it comes to responding to news outlets in the past and in previous episodes, but I kind of want to talk about specifically bisexuality. Now, bisexuality is not exactly a new sexual concept that's came in the past couple of years. Something like pansexual or any other pretentious sexuality as that. But there was something that that kind of came into mind before looking on to the for the episode. Just have a look, Mutaka. That's white to you, Chief? Well, I mean, I'm not. Well, I never really. Well, I thought he was white. I mean, after all, he did say that his dad was white, but then again, maybe like looking for further inspection, that maybe he could be one of those small hat types. But there we go. So sex with. Sex with pants. No, well, you think that would be the case, but nah. But there we go. So, anyway, so bisexuality. So the reason why I want to bring this up is because I was on Twitter. I think it was Twitter, and I came across this interesting image. How do LGBT plus students identify? Of course, this is from the BBC. Source: universities and colleges admissions service. This is spanned from 2016 all the way up to 2020. And of course, you've got different colors. You've got bisexual red, gay women / lesbian green, transgender blue, gay man yellow or orange, and other purple. And you notice that bisexuality is on the rise from 2016 and onwards to 2020. In fact, even last year alone, it went past the 20,000 mark. So it seems to me that bisexuality, or more people are choosing to identify themselves as bisexuals. Of course, obviously disgusting in my opinion, but there was something that I've watched recently that kind of ties into that as well. Now, I was on YouTube just watching some content here and there, nothing political or anything like that. Just be like a casual, just chilling out for one evening, and decided to watch some videos. There was one channel I stumbled across by the YouTuber in the name of Eleanor. Now, Eleanor is one of those like normie types of UK YouTubers who's got, I think she has about like 1.5 million subs, if I'm not mistaken, but quite a big channel to say the least. And her shtick is that she makes content where she talks about various unsolved / solved cases in America or in the UK for that matter. Crimes or cases that happened in the past, like the James Bulger case, the cases like there's one in America she talked about, which I actually thought was a pretty decent video about bollocks. Actually, it's escaping me just now. Hold on, I'll just quickly have a look and see, because there's actually many other cases. In fact, she even covers some pretty famous cases on her channel. Eleanor Neal, that's the name of the channel. Such as the UK's Most Dangerous Duo, the Beauty Queen Killer in multiple parts, the Albert Fish case she talks about, the kidnapping of Jessica Lunsford, and so on and so forth, and she garnered about, as I said, almost 2 million subscribers by the time of the stream, which it makes you kind of wonder why watch something like that when people can watch documentaries about these cases anyway. But if she's successful at that, then awesome. She's found a shtick and she's very good at it. She's gained a lot of success out of it, which is awesome. That was until I came across one video of hers I've watched, I think it was this past week or last week, where she made this video with her mum And she made this video where she comes out as bi. You know, guess what, Mom? I'm bisexual. I'm the queen of the LGBT plus community and whatnot because I'm bi, because I like to fuck both genders apparently. So it's like, okay, and she makes this video. She basically comes out to her mother. You know, she's bisexual. She likes men and women, and she starts to get all upset because she felt like the weight of the world is lifted off her shoulders. You know, it's all that pretentious bullshit you see all these people within this community making. I'm so happy that people accept me for who I am, and you know, but isn't it so wonderful? We live in a time of acceptance and blah blah blah. It's like, all right, we'll go to fucking Afghanistan and see from there. But you know, that's beside the point. The point is, it seems to be that being bisexual is becoming a lot more popular as of late when it comes to sexuality, especially how open and inclusive we've become with the LGBT plus community. I tend to hate people like Eleanor who, you know, tries to make her out as if like she's oppressed, she's a victim because, people will not accept her for who she is. Listen, sweetheart, you're not oppressed. You're not even a victim. You're just someone who wants to be called a bisexual so that you can hold the oppression card. That's what it comes down to. I don't really think she fully cares about being bisexual or liking both genders. I think she just uses it as a way to claim victimhood. That's what it comes off as, you know, because I can imagine there'd be a point where someone, you know, she may tell someone, or someone hears her in conversation with someone and then tells her, hey, I don't agree with your sexuality. I think it's disgusting. I think it's degenerate. I think it's incredibly selfish of you wanting to have sexual relationships with both genders, being male or female. And I completely disagree with that. She could then turn around and report hate crime because, you know, she's part of that community because she identifies as bisexual. Which, I mean, as I said, I tend to hate people like that because they don't genuinely really care about being that type of sexuality. It's all about victimhood. That's what it really comes down to it. That's what ultimately comes down to that fact. So it's a shame that this is a growing trend. I mean, with bisexuals, I guess the only reason people are going to bisexuality for them is because it's easier, I guess, but it's still degenerate and still disgusting that, you know, they would rather have both genders rather than the opposite sex. But there you go. Let me see. True. Thank you very much, Baz. Seeing you're bisexual is more popular, not being bisexual. There we go. That is exactly the point I was making. They're just degenerative. Exactly that, Peter. Projected, right. Is transsexuality, surely it's just a kink. Well, you think, but apparently it's a sexuality at this point. Fucking disgusting why this is ported onto us. Well, I think we all know why, Noam, in terms of a sinister agenda afoot. A very sinister agenda. It's a woman gym, but not as we know it. I guess being bisexual gives them twice the chance of getting off with someone at the end of the night. Well, of course, that's the whole point, isn't it? That's the whole point of liking both genders, really. So, my girlfriend said the same thing. No, sorry, couldn't resist. Oh dear. Of course, it's rising. The unis have a quota to fill. Yeah, of course, the quota, which is being diversity quotas and whatnot. University, but not in real life. Yes, in the university campuses. I think the bisexual thing is more about signaling. Yeah, it's definitely coming off as that. Woodlander. That's good to hear. That's oh dear. It's a fetishized status now, which gives them attention and privilege. Exactly that. Well, again, it goes back to what I was saying about the victimhood card. Mukta, is she fit? What I'll do is let me just go back to YouTube just real quick, and I'll show you an image of her, and then you all can decide from there if she's fit or not. Me personally, I don't think she's fit, but that's just me. Some people may think she's fit, but I don't really think she is. But let me just show you guys just real quick. Hold on. Let me see if I can click a video and then see from there. Right. Okay. Perfect. Right. So if is it showing the screen? No, not that's perfect. Right. So that way. Okay. So go on our channel, share the screen, and here we go.
So today's video is going to be another solved true crime
Shut
case.
up.
Another.
Here we go. Right, well, there you go. There's a footage of her. There's images of her. I mean, if you want me to be honest, I mean, she's a bit of a porker, but that's you know beside the point. But there you go. That's what she looks like. So you can decide from yourself. I personally don't think she's really that attractive, but that's just me. But if any of you have your opinions, you can feel free to let me know in the comments. Just hope it's not oh god, it's already sounding pretty brutal with the chat. Oh god, already. Let's see. A strong 7, maybe. Oh, fair enough. Steady chief. She likes cake. Oh god, here we go. Here we go. Big man, oh no. Hands off the parsnips. No. Oh god, the shrill voice. Yeah. Yeah, where she does that in almost every video. Where as her opener, like, so today's video, that sort of thing. But there you go. So I have a guy friend who is gay and he hates the LGBT community. I've heard people, actual gay people and all of that, actually do hate that community because it's becoming so degenerate. It really makes them look bad, which I can see their point of view with that. I'm not Budgie. I'm not gonna share that in the stream. God Almighty. Geez. Most of these are vlogs. Yeah. Yes, Roger. I can agree. Yeah, all up to date with that. So let's see what's also being said in the chat. I'd say a 5 or 6. There's definitely a worse looking woman. Oh, fair point, National West Yorkshireman. Fair point. Good sister material. Yeah, fair enough. Typical dating site. Good pick. Reality overweight. Oh god, yeah. It's very true. It's very true. You knew what you were doing, Moody. Effeminate men make me sick. Oh, don't get me started. They are just absolute vile scum of the earth. Like, I don't even want to call them men. I like to call them just pansies. Really, these like effeminate men. Like, I'm not gonna do like a manly thing. Like, just get snob. Like, they're not. I don't want to call them men. They're just absolute pansies, in my opinion. But I know a guy bloke who hates all the pride events and stuff as they look like a bunch of pervs. Yes, I can see that. Arrogant is an old word for it. No, White, what did I miss? Nothing much. I was just talking about bisexuality and how in colleges and universities is becoming a lot more popular for students to become bisexual, which of course is very degenerate, as we mentioned before. Marks out of 10, I'd give her a 1. Anglo-Saxon, that's pretty brutal. Pansy low. Well, it's true though, isn't it? All these effeminate men who don't even act like men whatsoever are just the definition of the word pansies. They just are. You can never take them seriously for whatsoever. Nice to see familiar names, guys. Oh, it's the same to yourself. No, Mike, same to yourself. Chinese government is cracking down on effeminate men. I have heard about that, yes. Which I guess I could say that's pretty based, but at the same time, I don't want to fully support it because it's the Chinese government. Although that being said, I think, correct me if I'm wrong in saying this, but what I've heard recently on the news is that they're becoming a lot more nationalist rather than socialist. Again, I don't know if that's really true or not, but it is kind of based that they are cracking down on the effeminate men issue with that. But I think it's also kind of telling that they don't want that stuff in their country, but they expect countries like the UK or in America having those types of men and being promoted very strongly in our society with effeminate men and all of that. My uncle is so homophobic, and so is his our pal. Oh dear. Kingdom of Inland, Chief Moody, what do you think of electric cars? I like them. I think I've been in an electric car before, and I think as long as it drives from point A to point B, I don't mind whether it's a petrol moving car or like an electric car. As I said, as long as it's going from A to B, that's all that matters. But I've noticed the noise reduction regarding to an electric car, because I was in a taxi going to my work at the time, and I was in an electric car, and I was just like, oh wow, this is it's pretty quiet. I'm actually surprised of the less amount of like noise coming from it, but that's that being said, but I don't really care for either or. As I said, as long as it moves, that's all that matters. But there we go. Electric cars can't hide the squeaks and rattles. Well, there we go. What's disgusting is they pretend to be oppressed in the Western world, but they don't look at the homophobia in Africa and Middle Eastern countries where they're imprisoned and executed. Well, a very valid point, Colin, but there's a reason why they never bring stuff like that up. It's not, I mean, of course, it's not because of the fact that it's easy for us to point that, well, not really us, our community, but mostly SIFNAS would always make this point. And it's a very valid point, don't get me wrong, of slavery and also mass executions happening in the Middle East and in Africa or the continent of Africa, where non-straight people, and I'll say that when it comes to that, or LGBT plus people in those countries are treated absolutely terribly. The reason for that being is that the people promoting that type of stuff over here and in America, any other European westernized country, but not over in those countries, is that it's all part of the agenda to make men become more effeminate, make women be more independent, and becoming less and less like women, and of course to destroy the whole traditional family unit. That's why whenever it gets brought up in terms of, well, why don't they ever criticize like Africa or Middle East, it's because, yes, you could say it defeats their whole entire agenda, but the fact of the matter is they don't care. They do not give a damn if it destroys their agenda or not. Their whole main goal at the moment is to, as I said just now, promoting LGBT stuff over in Europe as a way of trying to make men more effeminate, make women less like women, and become more independent, more dominant even. And of course, to destroy the traditional family unit. That's their overall goal. They don't care if a SIFNAT brings up these points about Africa or the Middle East. As long as they do everything they can to destroy us, then that's all they care about regarding to that. So there's the point being made with that. So. Indigenous Advocate, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching. China is communist in name only. It's a nationalistic state in reality. Right. Gotcha. Because again, I know the SIFNAS always hate China when it comes to being called like a communist state. But if it's communist by name, but it's more like a nationalistic state in reality, then right, that's fair enough. I can see that. The weird thing with electric cars in Scotland is that we'll go against the SNP's idea for 20-minute neighbourhoods, so we can expect them to be used for the upper classes. Sorry, excuse me. But yeah, very valid point, and there you go. I'll never be able to afford an electric car. I don't think anyone will be able to afford an electric car. Well, again, that ties in with what Rigor Mortis said in the chat. I guarantee, well, all of us can guarantee that it's going to be used more by the upper class. So, a few pansies checking me out in the tune a few weeks back. Pet, oh god. I think fluoride. There we go. And Sally again. Hello. I have come across a few electric motorbikes illegally riding in the woods near where I live. What's scary about them is you don't hear them coming and suddenly they're riding right in front of you. That is a very scary thought, Aunt Sally. And I can imagine that maybe in the future, maybe something might be implemented, but I don't know regarding to that. But I could just imagine, I don't know. Okay, I'm just going to make a slight rant just real quick, folks, and then before we end the show tonight. I tend to hate cyclists, right? Now, I just also want to make a point real quick. Not all cyclists, right? Hashtag not all, right? But there are some cyclists who act like the most pretentious, most self-absorbed, most self-entitled douchebags I've ever seen on the road. They seem to think because they're cyclists, they think they own the road as well as like cars and whatnot. And those people I cannot stand. Again, not all cyclists, but there are cyclists who act like major douchebags, and those people I cannot stand. And I can imagine with these electric motorbikes, I can imagine it would be far worse. So I hope maybe in the future something like that might be implemented to prevent any accidents like that happening. But until that happens, just expect more of these people, these douchebags, come out of the woodworks, especially if they're driving in these electric motorbikes. So there you go. I'll just read out a couple more chats and then we'll end the show this evening. I thought it was a pretty decent show tonight, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed tonight's episode. Let me see here. Back in the day, I'd batted them pansies. Oh god, oh dear. I think it's mainly because they want to make white people look like bad guys. Well, yeah, I could see that. I mean, they're already pretty much achieving that fact of demonizing our people, and definitely we need to reverse that fact. I think fluoride has a major role in masculinity these days. It's in everything processed. Yeah, I've heard about that before when it comes to manufactured, well, foods and whatnot, and also within drinks. I don't know if that's maybe just to do with an American thing, but I have heard about that part before. Mark, is that you, Mark? Call it. Yeah, I remember Mark talking about how much he hates cyclists as well, but I don't hate them as much as he does. But it's almost near that kind of hatred. But again, I don't want to say all of them because not all of them, but some of them do act very self-entitled when they're on the roads with regard to that. Let me see. Electric go-karts. That'd be pretty badass, actually, in my opinion. Fun thing about effeminate men is that they have very thin skin. My professor last semester was a soy boy, and when I wanted to talk about xenoestrogens, I hope I pronounced that right, in my research paper, he called it a conspiracy theory. Oh dear. Oh, very dear. Let me see. I'm great, Chief Rudy. Thanks, great show. Mr. Cause fell asleep. No worries. I'm glad you came to the show anyway with that. So let me see. In the winter with the heating and lights on, how would that impact on the range of electric vehicles? Not entirely too sure. That'd be interesting to see with that. I've got more chance of sitting in an electric chair than a car. There you go. Let me see. I am writing for the time we will be able to get about on those hover skateboards they have in the Back to the Future movie. You think they would develop something like that, but maybe not there yet. So I don't even drive, and I hate cyclists. There you go. Then there you go. Cyclists are rodents on wheels. Jesus. Ah dear. And that's me all up to date with the chat. Perfect. I know I haven't read every single message on the stream, but again, it's just only on what's there. So, Chief Moody, top streamer, mate. Thank you very much. No, White. I'm glad you enjoyed tonight's episode. Perfect. Right. Well, what I'll do now, folks, is that I think I'll just end the stream there. It's 5 to 7. I don't know if anyone's going to be live just right after me, but I'm sure there'll be shows at 9 p.m. tonight, such as John Davidson will be streaming later on, I think. I know that Wes and No Chance will be streaming Nefarious later on this evening, so please check him out if you can. And tomorrow's Friday, so I think Ayatollah will be live tomorrow. I think. I don't know about that, but I'm sure he will be. But anyway, I'll call it this evening. I want to thank you all so much for watching the show. Please, as soon as the stream goes live or it goes up on my channel, if you can, leave a comment on there, just so it lets me know what you think about the episode. Or if not that, then just if you already follow me on Telegram, just let me know within the comment of a recent post that I've made on Telegram. Again, just so it lets me know of what you think about tonight's episode. I'd be much appreciated with that. What I'll do now in the meantime, I will see if I can find an outro song. Nothing, of course, copyright or anything like that at all. And then I'll just end the show there. So there we go. Let me see here. Yeah, I'll play that. Why not? A song from Pogo. So maybe something from Steven Crowder's live streams and that, but you know, it's just something to play with that. So anyway, so let's see. Yeah, perfect. Okay, cool. Let me see. So again, I'll just share the screen real quick. I want to thank you all so much again for tuning into tonight's episode. I shall be back on Sunday. I'm pretty sure I'll be back on Sunday because I know I'm going to be out on Saturday. I don't know. I don't think I'll be drinking as much anyway. I don't think I'll be drinking as much that night. Then again, I don't think there'll be any alcohol anyway, but we'll see. But even then, I'll definitely see if I can come back on Sunday for episode 30. Can't believe we're almost 30 episodes in with Mood of the Nation already. That's crazy. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. This is Chief Moody signing out. You have been watching the Mood of the Nation podcast, and I shall see you this Sunday from 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. And I shall see you then. Take care, stay safe, and enjoy your weekend. Thank you, and take care. Good night.
Bit of magic.
A bit of magic?
It's easy. Let's see.
You must be kind, you must be witty, you must Jane and Michael. Thanks. Down at 601, down fine. You must take medicine at 601. Take it down at 601, down fine. You must take medicine at 601. I feel a surge. Surge of deep satisfaction.
does what I likes and I like what I do. I does what I likes and I like.
Thank you, most interesting.
I does what I likes and I like what I do. I does what I likes and I like. I does what I likes and I like what I do. I does what I likes and I like. I does what I likes and I like what I do. I does what I likes and I like.
Now how does that sound?